Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome all my couples and all the people that are listening to today's episode of Heart to Heart podcast. I'm your host, Yen Chong Videos, and also Heart to Heart. So today we finally have our first invited guest to this podcast. And me and Tangi wanted to kind of do a series of podcasts to invite vendors to share their tips and tricks to the wedding planning so that you can help you make better decisions and don't make any rash decision when you're doing your own wedding planning for you. So today our first guest is the founder and the creative director of Rosette Designs & Co. She came from the media industry background as a senior broadcast designer for many years before finally finding her calling into wedding planning when she's planning her own wedding in 2008. She operates her business with three members who also leads the wedding planning, wedding coordinating and content digital marketing team. So as a team, their main function and main service is creative wedding planning and decor company. So welcome Helen to today's podcast.
Hi Yonchang, thank you for having me. Thank you. Early morning.
Yeah, this is a very interesting time where we are all stuck at home and we are just still trying to communicate with everyone and trying to communicate to our couples who's doing our wedding planning. So we just wanted to kind of get the whole community to be in this whole conversation. I just wanted to start this conversation with everyone. So Helen, so how's your 2020 looking like for this year?
Well, I think my 2020 looks very, very interesting, and it's how do I say? It's in a way maybe a down period for a wedding industry. It's really a step back from what we have built in 2019. We have a lot of couples that suddenly, in just a moment, all the couple has to scrap their wedding plans. They have to postpone and all push. They postpone many times. I have a couple who postpone 2 times, 3 times to end of the year and then to next year.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very interesting. I will say it's very challenging. I still believe there is a silver lining to it, but it is in fact very challenging.
Yeah, it's a very thin line also. Yeah, for us also in Heart to Hearts, we also face quite a bit of pushback. But luckily most of our couples are end of the year, so mostly are just more concerned and observing the news while hoping that everything will get released soon. Hopefully in June we can all go back to our normal life. But it did give me some eye-opening experience, like we can still meet our couples in like online. I think couples are quite receptive with meeting people online and still try to communicate through. So today's topic is all about our couples planning journey. So this episode especially for you guys that want to plan for your 2021 wedding or even end of this year or even 2022 or in future. So I believe new engaged couples are pretty lost right now during this COVID season, and of course early next year is also a little bit of a concern, not knowing what to do. So we wanted to do this episode especially to actually solve this problem, because I believe Helen have all the answers with it. So the first part we are talking about is more on what couples should do right now if their wedding is in this year. We are talking about maybe the next half of the year. So Helen, do you have any like suggestions or things that you would suggest your couples to do right now?
So couple definitely need to start planning and keep planning, although it's difficult, but actually this is the kind of the right time for you to scroll through vendors, to look at what is their portfolio, what they are good at, and find out what is your style that you want for the wedding. So this is maybe it's prolonged planning period. Definitely I would say that things will get back to normal. As much we want, there will still be social distancing measure, I believe, until even next year. So don't worry about that. We will deal when it comes. But what we can do right now is maybe planning on what kind of wedding do you want? This is a time when you discuss with your fiance, dream about the wedding, and sometimes some venue has a virtual tour on the website. That could be good, and you can shortlist all the venue that you want. Then meet up vendors. There's many vendors that offer e-meeting, right? Yeah, so I think still keep your planning momentum going.
So for people that already booked their vendors like this year, is there any way things that you should tell them to take note of, or like tips and tricks?
I think if you have secured all your vendors, you should be quite relaxed. You can ask your vendor about their cancellation or postponement policy. But if you don't want to postpone your wedding, so I think it's quite fine. Yeah, couple definitely don't need to worry. I think maybe past August.
Now we go to the main gist of it. Like we are focusing more of the 2021 couples and beyond. So what are the things that the couples should take note when they are planning a wedding, maybe from the start, the middle, and the end, or maybe the post wedding? Yeah, is there any strategy that you kind of like advise your couples?
There's a sequence of wedding planning journey, right? First, of course, in the beginning, you need to know what type of wedding you want, where do you want to have it, and be because we are from the more on the planning and aesthetic background, so we always think about what themes you want, so that you can search your venue according to the theme itself. Then when you are planning your budget, you need to know what's your priority, uh, which because every budget is different for every couple. So sometimes one couple wants to have a very luxurious venue, then they have to compromise with some other portion if they have limited budget, unless you don't have a limited budget. But if let's say a couple wants to have like one bride wants to have a very nice wedding gown, a certain brand, then she has to compensate with others. So you need to know what is your priority in terms of setting your budget. And then for taking notes is, during this period, always ask the vendors what is the cancellation policy, what is the postponement policy. Make sure the vendor knows and they can articulate clearly, like if it's postponed to this, then is there any charge, what is the special charge, so don't have a dispute during on the charge after you sign, so it's not so nice. And then if let's say you want to plan month by month, then you can research about the timeline, because most of the planning actually starts 1 year before the wedding itself. They secure the venue, then they secure the vendors, then they will gradually have all the vendor come along, and then they start the program planning and the actual day itself.
Okay. So maybe because just now we mentioned like you have this like little cheat sheet that you share before the show started. Maybe you can kind of like share with us like that particular flow. Yeah, then our couples have a better understanding of the flow exactly you're talking about.
So we also have developed a wedding timeline for our couples and also for general audience. This was in our website, and we made this for Singapore edition, so Singapore brides. So you have a timeline of what to do from 12 months to your wedding day. So as you see, there is milestones, right? We take it every 4 months, and then closer to the date, like about 4 months, it's more intense. 2 months is even more intense, because 2 months is where we start our coordination process. When we were engaged for coordination, usually we start 2 months before, because that's where the action is. So we do the program and then all the rehearsal 2 months before. So if you see from 12 months onwards, you need to know what is your priority, what is the date, and draft your guest list. Talking about guest list, it always keep changing. So don't worry about this. This is like a preliminary guess. So at least you know how many people you want to invite, what kind of venue. I think my suggestion on this current situation, keep your numbers small. I think people are also a bit anxious to come to wedding. So if
Yeah.
yeah, yes. So I have couple who has to cut down 50% of the guests because 50% of the guests didn't want to come for the wedding.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not
So they're
even
not comfortable.
they reject, is they don't even come.
Yeah, they don't want to come
So
because they're
sad.
not comfortable coming to wedding venue. It's a big venue, right? Uh, so I will say 100 is good. If it's not maybe below 80, this is the time and venue cut down, and you can look at other resources or other venue like restaurant. Yes, also supporting them. Personally, I would suggest maybe you go to restaurants like places that has nice outdoor. There's a lot of restaurants in Singapore have an outdoor area. It's very pretty for solemnization, and also you have more freedom to decorate rather than ballroom.
Oh really? Your restaurant actually give you the have more like flexibility to do so.
Yeah, because usually they don't comes with any decorations, no template. So we work a lot with restaurants.
I see.
Of course, we also work with big ballrooms last time, but just this period, I think you kind of need to rethink about your big wedding plan.
Actually, talking about sidetrack a bit, talking about like wedding planning and stuff. Recently, the government trying to push for virtual ROM. Do you think that will work, or do you think it's just like appease a few people in this whole market?
I think it will appease a few people that needs to get married now with because of the BTO and all. Uh, well, if I know most of my couple, they would prefer to have a like a very romantic union when two people march in and then have the vow in front of each other. But of course, this is a pandemic season, right? Uh, maybe some couple might find the novelty of doing it this way because there's none other time that you can actually do this way. Now it could be interesting. They could do the solemnization first, then do the photo taking or the do ceremony later.
I see. It's actually quite interesting. That's when I saw me and my wife was just like very interesting approach, but it's just a bit sad because not it's just very empty. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I kind of feel after doing so many Zoom, so many meetings, so many even sales meeting, right? It's become like a norm to me to have conversation with people on the Zoom or in the screen, right? It feels like you still feel them, you still be part of it. So I would think instead of just the virtual solemnization, there will be time when people actually tune into wedding through Zoom. Like they tune in, they attend, maybe they dress up even, and then they even toast through Zoom, like the wedding guests,
oh
yeah,
wow.
attending a wedding together. I would think there will be a possibility of that, especially when lockdown of the traveling, because a lot of my couple, the guest is from overseas.
Yeah, actually, the headache is not the local ones. It's really more of the overseas ones. Like to align the both countries' travel restrictions. Yeah, that's a headache.
Yeah, time zone, different time zone.
Okay. So just now we talk until like the booking the vendors and also for until the 8th month before. I noticed the 8 months left before the wedding you actually book you listed quite a bit of vendors to book. Like photographers, gown, band, officiant. That's like almost most of the vendors, like 80-90% of the vendors. But why so early with like so many things?
This 8 months period is maybe time for you to search about the wedding vendor. So when I say book, this is the time when you start looking and also booking in booking the wedding vendor. Usually you will shortlist and then you will meet personally. So maybe the process is about like 1 month. Not too long. Don't drag too far. Why I put 8 months? Because most of the good vendors will be booked. One thing that you don't want is after you research and you like somebody and then you found out that she's already booked or he or she already booked, which what happened to me before. So try not, you want to get the best for your wedding, right? You really want to get what you want. So early is better than late. And
Yes.
sometimes you will get like perks to book early, like early bird. Some vendors does that.
Yeah, actually that's quite true. Like, I mean, to couples they don't really know, but I think it's been a trend where every year there will be hot dates. There will be a few really really hot dates. Like for this year, it's like 12-12, 10-10, 8-8. All the double numbers. Couples have to take note that there is a set of hot dates that has to be wary of. So you notice that usually within there's this wedding season where a lot of people getting married within that year or during that period, like these 2 or 3 weeks. So please take note if you are getting married in like a really really hot date. Then once you know that it's a hot date, do reach out to your vendors. I mean, at least introduce yourself to the vendors and know that you are planning a wedding or something, so that at least the vendors can get back to you with enough time. So in case they are booked, then you can instantly get someone to, you can get another replacement or find another vendor without wasting time. Just that because like this year for example, we did reject like 4 or 5 couples on a one particular hot date. So is something that we don't wish it to happen, but if you really want or if you feel like it's a good match, I think it's more of like a vibe thing. Like you go through the portfolios of all the vendors, be it wedding decor, wedding band, videographer, photographer. Once you see like there's some sort of like a vibe, you can just meet them with a Zoom call. Like for this year, you can just meet the vendors in the Zoom call. I believe most of the vendors are quite open. Yeah, like we are still open for business and we can still get your inquiries answered. It's not like closed completely, but we can still answer for future inquiries. So feel free to just get us, and like we have a Zoom call, you can just ask them and kind of get the vibe. Like for this year we have like 2 or 3 Zoom calls already, like meeting the couple. But of course some couples still require us to meet face to face. Like they still prefer the face to face method, which is still the best way, of course. But now this season is we have to be a little bit more flexible lah. Like this Zoom meeting is going to be a norm, and it's going to be set to stone at least for the next few months. Yeah, so booking a vendor early is a very very good recommendation. Strongly agree. So we come to the 6 months before the wedding. Plan honeymoon. It's not a bit. I feel like it's a bit early, but I guess you have a reason to put that. And your beauty regime. Oh, okay. Wow, so early. Do explain more.
Yeah, because habit or beauty regime takes time to actually show the result. You cannot get the result within 1 month, 2 months, even 3 months. So our skin is gradual. If you want to lighten your skin, start 6 months, or you want to lose weight, start 6 months to have built a good habit and good beauty workout. If you want a crash diet, I wouldn't suggest, because on the actual day your body might cannot handle the stress. So I feel so for us, we always suggest our couple to actually plan before, and then to gradually get the routine fix, so that it become part of their actually journey, or part of their lifestyles. So I would say for 6 months. Why is planning the honeymoon early? Because some of our couple, they want to go to honeymoon right away after their wedding. So 6 months is a good timing to travel. I mean, to plan for travel, and also to book your ticket. You don't want to get jack up price if you plan too late. And also, this is about budgeting, right? Because some couple includes their honeymoon travel plan, honeymoon budget into their wedding budget. So they want to know how much they can spend. Some couple, they actually narrow down their budget because they want to have a longer honeymoon period. So this is where you can plan your timing and also your budget.
I see.
So because I'm still reading through like the 4, 2, and 1 month, it's quite packed. Like right after the 4th month and beyond, then everything is quite intense. It's like stack after stack after stack.
Yes, because a lot of couple don't know planning wedding is really a lot of things, and it's a lot of layer, a lot of planning, and there's so many things that you need to book. If you put everything like the past 3 months or the past 3 months before your wedding, you will get stressed. And 2 months before the wedding, actually, it's very stressful. So try to put all the stress and then spread it out during the 8 months period or 10 months period, so that it's more relaxing. The process also you can enjoy.
Actually, that's quite true. Like how to make this planning become an enjoyable thing rather than dreading it. Because I have couples that really dreads it and like feel like it's a chore. Because they're technically hosting a party of like a few hundred people. So do take note if you want to. It's better to spread across the board. But it's very interesting because we have a few couples. Their priority is very different. Like even though you have this like 12 months thing, right? Some people that do their own planning, their priorities in like choosing vendors is very different. Like I have couples that find us like 3 months before the wedding, and I have couples that find us 12 months before the wedding. So it's very drastic, like in terms of how they deem which one is more important, or which one that they will feel like is more crucial to have. So venue is confirmed is the first lah, but subsequent ones they actually those DIY couples they rearrange.
Yeah.
Yes. So of course, this is a traditional planning, and not so traditional. This is the most ideal planning, because for me personally, I planned my wedding about 2 years. 2 years before. So I have a blog, which is why I started this whole wedding planning business, right? Because I enjoy it so much, and blog about it, and then people start having a conversation over the blog. That was like 10 years ago. So 12-month period is a time that actually you plan a big project, right? And really don't crash it nearer to the wedding date, and you get stressed and you don't enjoy. Actually, I always tell my couple to see this as a big project together, the first big project together with your loved one. So you don't take this as something that is a chore, or you need to enjoy the whole process. That's why planning early, and then you know what is the expectation, is better. I know some couple have to plan in a very short time because of the RM requirement, that maybe you need to get the key, then you need to plan like within 3 months. And in that case, you can just cut out a lot of things. Like you maybe don't need to plan the honeymoon right away. Maybe you don't have beauty regime, or sometimes they don't have bridesmaids, so they don't need to think about the bridesmaid dress. And
Ah,
the venue, maybe it's very simple straight away. Actually, we plan a wedding. We ever plan a wedding within 2 weeks.
ah,
So
how?
yeah, there's some couple that just book us 2 weeks before the wedding.
Or they just don't want to do the thing.
Yeah, but their wedding is very simple. It's very simple, as in the small number of guests. It's only 12, so we get it done very fast.
Okay. So this is like this list that we are giving to you is more of like the standard, but you can cut shortcuts here and there that makes you will make you like, if you really want to prioritize your own, then you can just use this as a reference. Then throughout towards the closer to the wedding day, do take note there's quite a bit of stuff to do, and these are just like checklists for you. If you have certain items that you feel deem fit for you, but our main objective here is more of like educating and tell you what are the standards are there for you to follow. Yeah, so if you feel that this one is like, there's too much work, this is where Rosette Design comes in to help you simplify the process. I suppose 2 months before the wedding, right?
We have full wedding planning. We also have actual day coordination. So our actual day coordination is one of the popular service where we take all the big chunk of the planning, and also like doing the program, doing the rehearsal, contacting all the vendors, make sure every plan that you have on the actual day is smooth. We take over that part. Yeah, that is the big bulk of the wedding process, the wedding planning process. Yes, 2 months before.
So basically, the nanny lah. Then the couple just literally follow.
Yes,
They don't really plan; they just follow.
with a guide. We are their guide. So our couple actually most appreciative of this service, because on the day itself, they don't have to worry about the program. They don't have to worry about the vendors, whether it's coming or not. They don't need to organize their own wedding on the day itself. They just be the couple.
I see.
That's true lah. Like if you feel like this planning is not your thing, then if you really just want to enjoy the day, this is one way to do it also. But if you are those that DIY couple who are more like really want to take in control, then it's a very good time for you and your partner to take this as a project, like what Helen has described it. Like if you approach it in that mentality, then it shouldn't be so daunting lah. It should be something that you guys enjoy as an activity, because it's like a once in a lifetime thing, and you can't really redo that. So yeah, so do take note of that. So is there, because I noticed until your list is only until wedding day, so maybe share about anything about post wedding day, like one day after the wedding day. Is there anything that they still have to do?
Usually after the wedding day, they have to return the gown, and that's the maybe that's the only one. But of course, settle the bill. Everything will be done on the wedding day itself. So I think maybe write thank you note for your bridesmaid, or even to your vendor. Some of our couple does that. They write a thank you note, and then just appreciate, just enjoy the moment, because the photo will come about like 3 months later maybe. And then enjoy your honeymoon.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot there's a thank you note. Yeah, that's just true. Yeah, these are the little things that they have to kind of like touch up towards the end. Then yeah, really just enjoy the day lah. Main thing is really enjoy the day, because you guys are like the star of the day. Shouldn't be like you serving, or the couples you guys serving them, but instead you should enjoy with them. Yeah, so then you won't feel that daunting. So for people that are interested in your services, is there a way that people can keep in contact with you? Is there any IG handles or website that they can refer your work?
Yes, come to our website, rosettedesigns.com, with an S, rosettedesigns.com. and also our IG, Rosette Designs Co. We do have a video series that we launch every Saturday. It's called Saturday with Rosette. We started before circuit breaker, but now we are into it. It's quite informative, very informative. We talk about how to avoid wedding disaster. This week we talk about that, and then last week we talk about decor, and previously we talk about wedding budget. So as a wedding planner, we want to impart our knowledge and share with couples, right? Things that they need. Some couple don't see the need to have a wedding planner, but planning is always necessary. For DIY couple that maybe they don't want to engage people for the actual day coordination, you need to get somebody to run the wedding for you. So that is one thing that you should take note. Don't run the wedding yourself. You can rope in your friends or family that has an event background. But also don't overwork them, because I've seen some couple that break up with their friends after the wedding because it's too stressed, the relationship. They don't like how the wedding run. If you have a low tolerance on like disorganizing stuff, like better to get a professional, because your standard might not match your other friends who run the program.
I didn't know got such cases before, but I do have brides that has friends with wedding coordinator and stuff, so they will naturally speak to them and get them to advise the day and run the show for them. Yeah. Okay. So what's your contact? Like, if people want to contact you, what are the ways that they can contact you guys to find out more about your services?
Okay. Contact us through info@rosettedesigns.com, and WhatsApp. Actually, we are also very much active in WhatsApp. Our number is 9669-4213. 9669-4213.
I'll list down it on the phone number and the website just in the video itself. So for couples that are interested, do check them out. They are really, really nice people, because I went to their outlet once, and they are very, very professional. They know what they're doing. So thank you, Helen, today for sharing all these tips and tricks and being the first ever guest in Heart to Heart. We hope that we can have another session, maybe live, Facebook live or something, to share more with our couple. So I think outline of today is really like, you can still contact your vendors through these tough times, through a lot of means. It doesn't mean that it has to be face to face, but of course, once the circuit breaker ends, everybody is ready to meet up. If you have any inquiries, but just do take note that wedding planning takes at least a year, in particular this timeline. So if you are planning you shouldn't stop planning during this period. In fact, you should start planning this period, and because you have more time or you have more stay home time, do take this chance as an opportunity to go and figure vendors out, check them out, talk to them. I believe everybody is there ready to answer your inquiries lah. So this marks the end of the episode of this very special episode of the Heart to Heart Talk podcast, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.